Everybody told me to skip Spider-Man, and honestly, I almost did. I'm buying it anyway, but not yet. This set is collectible first and playable second, and that actually, to me, makes it easier to shop. Hey, I'm Joel, and I cover Magic card prices and news full-time, and I've been playing Magic for over 20 years. My job is to keep you ahead and avoid landmines in this expensive collectible game. Subscribe, and I'll keep you ahead. Final Fantasy singles are the current buy right now. I just dropped a video about that. Check it out. Spider-Man is adding to my watch list. I hope I'm clearly planted on your second monitor because today I'm going to show you exactly what I'm targeting from this set, which versions I actually want, what decks they go in, and when I'll move from watch list to buy. I'm going to start with the pure collectibility plays because that's where Spider-Man shines in my opinion. Then we'll hit commander upgrades for commanders I've already got, new commanders that I'm building from the set, and we'll go over timing so you know when the floor is the floor at the end, when I'll give you the buy windows I'm watching so you can set your alerts and snag these at the actual floor. If that sounds good, hit that like button and let's get going. If it doesn't, leave me a comment about how I'm wrong and the algorithm will think we're fighting and everybody wins. Joel R Magic is brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your cards quickly and easily on the internet. TCG Player, the best place to buy them. Dragon Shield, the best way to protect them. And Moxfield, the only place to put your deck lists on the internet. You know I want all of the source material cards from Spider-Man, and I want all 40 of them in foil. The MAR cards are the cleanest long-term collectible in this release to me. They're borderless, they look like art prints, and they don't lean on a gimmick frame that'll date itself in 6 months. The distribution also makes sense. MAR has a dedicated slot in collector boosters, which means consistent supply across the sheet for non-foils, especially since these are in play boosters as well. That even spread matters for collectors. We're not chasing serialized chaos or short printed oddities. I'm going to anchor my patience to Opposition Agent, the top of the list right now, because it's a recognizable staple. The non-foil was around the low 20s, foil was around mid 50s, already off early highs above 85. My alerts personally are 15 non-foil and 30 to 40 for the foil. Hopefully the fall off of that top card in the set goes down into that preferred range for me. That's usually weeks 6 through 10 when restocks land and the last wave of cracking cools off. If you love the art, this is the display play. If you don't, great. I'll happily take all of your MAR foils at the floor. Either way, follow me so you don't miss the dip. I want the entire Borderless scene in foil. It's a 9-card grid that looks ridiculous in a binder spread or in a frame, which is how I'm going to put it. I'm 2 cards away from finishing mine. Look, at MagicCon Atlanta, these were flowing. People were literally giving away their extra foils of some of these uncommons and a couple of their rares. That's the reality of heavy collector booster cracking, which was happening in Atlanta. Early supply makes scene pieces look like commons. Then the faucet closes up and everyone realizes that finishing the 9 is kind of annoying, especially if you want foils. That's when the prices will start to creep back up. And so my plan is to complete the 9 set at single-digit prices per foil. Hopefully, Miles and Gwen are up in the like 20s and 40s right now. Those two might be my challenge. I'm hoping like 15, 20 bucks maybe for Miles and Gwen. We'll see. For me, this one's not about playability at all. It's just I think they look dope and I want the whole set. This one's going to make some people roll their eyes, but I also bought the scene box and I like it. It lives back there on my shelf. It's almost irrelevant to me, honestly, that the contents are playable Magic cards. I care that it looks like a tiny little museum exhibit of Spider-Man. If you want an easy win for your background shot or your office shelf, the scene box is a pretty low stress pickup under MSRP and it looks good altogether. I did not like and was critical of how it looked on the internet. I like it in person and it's looked really sick on my shelf back there. For timing, I think these are pretty widely available right now. I just wanted to mention that one, but the foils of that 9-card scene that I'm trying to collect, I am trying to get these sooner rather than later. Right now I need the Miles and the Gwen, and then I need a foil of the Multiversal Passage and I'll be complete. Krem the Asian Avenger actually said he's going to hit me with the foil Multiversal Passage for that set on Twitter, so hello, I'm waiting. The 3 classic comic cards are weird for me, but I still want them, but only for the cover side, the back of it. The comic cover faces are just absolute heaters. I've seen them all in person and they're sick. The front, the main faces look off to me in a way I can't really fully explain, but that's fine. This is a display choice, and if/when I do build them, I'm casting the cool side anyway, so it is what it is. These are in foil only that came out of the collector boosters, and they're not going to flood like mass showcase frames. Floors are going to be stickier and listings are going to be spikier. My plan for this one is opportunistic sniping if and when it happens. Watch for sellers to move these as consolation prizes for not pulling a soul stone, which is what everybody's chasing in the collector boxes anyway. I'm not going to chase these at their first bounce because nostalgia plus scarcity can fake momentum with these. If the price action does get stubborn, I'll probably still grab them, but I'm going to make the covers do the work. That's what I want for the cards. They need to be the card face I'm actually going to look at on my battlefield or in a binder. And a tip for display people, here's something I've been thinking. Put these 3 covers in a horizontal row under or over the 9-card scene in one big display. You'll get a comic strip with your full splash page. I think it's going to look intentional and really set everything apart. I'm skipping the web slinger frame from Spider-Man entirely. If you love it, go get it. For me, the frame just fights with the art. I actually was handed the foil Peter Parker flip card in the web frame treatment, a foil of it at Atlanta Magic Con. Dom just handed it to me, was just like, here, you probably want this and we'll figure it out later. I still couldn't get excited about it, and I ended up just giving it back to him. I'll admit, they look better in hand, but still just were not for me at all. Power to you if you like them. In my opinion, with a collectible first set, taste matters. You don't need to own every treatment to have a great binder. Pick a look and commit. If you want the playable version for a specific deck, go for the cleanest printable frame or the extended art that's not going to age badly. I'm saving my bling budget for panels, covers, or MAR, obviously. Also, quick reality check. Spider-Man's not about EV farming the sealed. If you want to gamble on collector boxes, there are sets for that. This is one about curating a page and picking commander cards that actually make your decks better. Let the parts you don't like fall off your search filters. You're not required to engage with it. Your future self's actually going to thank you when you open your binder and it looks like a sick comic gallery of cool usable cards and not a clearance rack, I promise. Let's talk about commanders I'm upgrading from Spider-Man. As per usual, my girl Dihada gets the biggest injection from this set. It's all about legendary density and recursion, and Spider-Man quietly hands Dihada 2 new engines and a stack of glue. Behold the Sinister Six is my headline here. It reanimates up to 6 creatures with different names. In Dihada, this reads like a tiny 1-card rebuild after a wipe, or a disgusting value dump when your graveyard's nice and curated. Gwenom, Remorseless, plays like a black card advantage engine. Lifelink, Death Touch, and the attack trigger that lets you play off the top for life is exactly what Legends decks want when they stall out. Agent Venom is a flexible role player. Flash, Menace, draw on your non-token deaths gives Dihada another angle on board turnaround. Carnage, Crimson Chaos rebuys your small value pieces on entry, then forces a swing and a sack on damage. It's a loop enabler that keeps the graveyard moving. Spectacular Spider-Man's Mother of Runes for the table and a Legends shell. Flash it in, give hexproof and indestructible, you look like a genius. And not to mention the Soul Stone. It's a sneaky one. It's a legendary, so it works perfectly in those kind of shelves, and it's a rock that later turns into a repeat reanimate. You're not going to feel bad drawing that early or drawing it late. Dihada players, your upgrades from this set are real. Let's rapid fire my other commanders that are finding upgrades with actual deck rolls from the Spider-Man set. I've got 2 cards for Bumbleflower, which plays a lot of creatures. That deck has over 40 in it. Web of Life and Destiny is a convoke ramp spell that keeps paying you by finding and dropping creatures on your combats. Foils of that are already drifting into the $5 zone. Strength of Will is a sweet trick that makes your creatures indestructible and turns the damage into counters. And that pairs nicely with fight effects and big bodies. In Spirit Artifacts gets Iron Spider Stark upgrade, which reads like Steel Overseer with plot armor. Vigilance, tap to Anthem, and a card draw mode by removing counters. Artifact creature shells, especially proliferate decks, love this. Cloud X Soldier likes big bodies and free stats. Doc Ock's Tentacles auto-equips to Cloud, who's 5 mana, and immediately puts his power exactly where we want it for maximum cloudy value. That's a bulk pickup that's going to play above its price tag in that deck. Liesa in Orzhov Life Gain can use Morlun, Devourer of Spiders. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, in a 2025 Magic the Gathering video, I'm recommending Morlun, Devourer of Spiders, possibly for your Life Gain decks. It works as a scalable drain and counters engine that sits nicely in Life Gain builds. Hearthhole Land Graveyard Matters got Sandman Shifting Scoundrel, which scales to your sheer land count makes combat super awkward and has cute recursion lines. None of these are set defining, but together they're going to grease the wheels of a few commander decks. 3 brand new commander decks are on my to-do list from Spider-Man. The first is Norman Osborn with Grixis discard, J. Jonah Jameson in Menace attack shells, and then Jackal as a pod-style genius scientist. Norman plays like a 2-act value engine. On the front, you're looting, making him slippery. On the back, you're discounting graveyard spells and turning wheel effects and discards into castable gas from the bin. That's a build that rewards sequencing, really punishes people emptying your hand or filling up your graveyard. J. Jonah Jameson wants suspected Menace bodies that make us money. Think Nelly Borka lines that are now minting treasures every combat. Easy to tune, low curve, easy to snowball. It's what I'm building right now. I got my J. Jonah Jameson promo over here from Atlanta. I've been putting this deck together over the last day. Jackal's the spicy one for me right now. Cast a creature with mana value equal to his power. You copy it, then he grows so that the next cast of the bigger creature copies again. That's sort of pod math without needing sacrifice the artifact or any of the other spells that allow you to do that. And you can design for multiple power breakpoints to chain value up the line. I'll probably also build Flip Miles at some point as Naya Legends ++1 counters, but that's close to something I have now, close to a few things I have now, and so it'll probably just simmer until I want a fresh paint job on a new commander deck. If you want full primers, let me know which one of those you're interested in, and I'll put them on Moxfield and walk through the play lines in a dedicated video. 2 general commander pickups deserve a call out because they slide into a lot of decks and they're not really loud yet. The first one's Shadow of the Goblin. It's a red glue piece that quietly turns your play patterns into damage. It rummages in your first main, then pings opponents when you cast from exile or just not from your hand. Your red decks already do that with Impulse Draw, Adventures, Foretell, free casts. Look at commanders like Obnixilis, Prosper, Rocco. Those commanders would love this one. You're going to clock more damage than you would expect. Spider Sense is the flexible protection spell that plays like a weird split card. You can counter a spell that targets a creature you control, or you can do the web thing and bounce a tapped creature to make it cheaper and protect a different creature maybe by countering the spell. You know, it's kind of crazy. That discount mode matters in tight turns when you want to protect, still advance the board, save a little bit of mana, keep your board building. Maybe even get some extra ETB value off the thing that you bounce back. I also like Hide on the Ceiling for some blue safety tricks. These are just the sort of cards that sit in a binder at a couple bucks until they're suddenly $5 or $6 because a commander sends them, or honestly they just drift up over time because people know and find out that they play well but were turned off initially because Spider-Man sucks as a set. My advice is if you're already buying some of the collectible stuff, just toss 1 or 2 of each of these into a cart at their floor. Future users going to be happy when you're not paying shipping twice for utility pieces or higher prices. The pattern on sets like this is simple. Spike, slide, settle, slow climb. For Spider-Man, I'm watching 3 different windows. Lots of the singles in the set I think are going to dip 3 to 6 weeks, while supply is heaviest and traders want to move their extras because they were searching for soul stones. The MAR foils I think are going to be a little bit later move, weeks like 6 through 10 once collector, booster, cracking cools, and restocks are clear. That's when the dedicated slot is finally going to show you that floor. Classic cosmic foil, come on. And if you want me to call the floor on the realistic cards to obtain, hit the subscribe button. I'll post a follow-up with exact cards in a few months when we hit the numbers I mentioned earlier. Let me know if you think I missed any power cards that are going to be role players in any of your commander decks, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Also, Krim, if you're watching, let me get that multiversal passage in foil, baby. Come on.